It would definitely
So,
wasn't.
speaking of like appointments, how would someone go about making appointments? Did you just look up the companies going and, send out emails? Were you approached?
Or were these
Um,
existing relationships that are kind of expanding because they're going to be there?
Right.
This year it's much more that much this year, because I've gone so many years now, I can be like, hey, are you guys going to E3? Or I have a couple companies that'll reach out and they'll say, hey, we're going to be at E3. We'd love to meet with you and show you X, Y, and Z. But when we first got started, I had a Twitch staff member that helped me do this, but he explained how to do it if you weren't having someone help you, which is essentially you look at the layout of the floor plan, you find the companies you're interested in talking to, and then you start finding email addresses, whether that's going to their websites and doing just a contact us form. Like, hey, are you going to E3? Do you have a PR person? Do you have an influencer relations person? Somebody that I can talk to. I'd love to schedule an appointment. Some companies, they have something on their website that's like, hey, are you going to E3? We'd love to meet with you if you dig around enough. Sometimes I find people on Twitter and I'll say, hey, I know that you represent this company or this brand. I'm going to E3. I know you guys are going to E3. Who do I need to speak to about organizing a meeting? The same way that you would for PAX, but E3, you have to do it much further in advance for the most part.
It's
How much further?
very, very, very busy.
Yeah. It just depends.
Very businessy too.
Yes. It's
Much more
more, yeah. And I mean, you don't have to dress business casual person. Well, you don't have to dress like business, like suit, tie, or anything like that. In fact, like I usually still do jeans and a t-shirt and a hoodie. But I was talking to someone, or I had a friend who's an editor for, I don't remember where she's at now, but we've done panels and things together. And she discussed like, hey, maybe don't wear video game related shirts like of a particular game, because you may be meeting with somebody else who's like, oh, I used to work with that company. And little things like that. They're not huge. They're not necessary, but they're like little tiny things.
It's control it where you can, I guess.
Yeah. Just
because you never know when you're going to be talking with somebody who's got a game in the same genre.
Yeah.
That would effectively be a competitor. And here you are like sporting the competition.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that's like a huge deal, but it was something that was brought up.
They're also probably fans of that game too.
Right. I mean, it was something brought up very minuscule. Like I still wear the jeans and t-shirts. I usually wear like something Twitch related just because I'm there. Yeah. I'm going from a Twitch perspective and I have a badge from Twitch. So therefore I'm going to go and represent Twitch.
You're sort of an informal rep. Yeah.
Right. So I'm going to represent my brand, myself, and also the company that I'm going under, basically. Which is something really important to keep in mind too. That's a little bit different than PAX is if you get, a media badge through a company, you're representing that company and you never know who's watching. So like, yeah. Maintaining that kind of business professional aspect is really, really important.
Is there more? So there's a much greater requirement at E3 to have that kind of business orientation than there is the at least potentially totally casual PAX or TwitchCon approach.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. It seems like that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah. The first year we went, it felt very business. It felt, and a lot of times you will run into people who are with very large companies, like very high up in companies that are slinging deals with larger, groups. Like maybe somebody's there presenting a game to Sony or somebody's presenting a game to Microsoft. And you have to be like really aware of where you're at and who you're around and like your behaviors. And like, you don't want to get in anybody's way, but at the same time, you want to be assertive and be like, hi, I would like to see this. Mm-hmm. Let's talk. What can I do for you?
That's where having appointments helps too. So you don't have to like, it can be kind of awkward or can be kind of mistimed to try to like, squeeze your way in like right at the, like right in the moment. But someone asked in chat, like, what is the purpose of appointments? I mean, if with an appointment, you get access, like, you usually get taken to, like, a media room. Mm-hmm. You get one-on-one FaceTime with usually, a public relations, influencer relations person, and a dev. So you get to get, like, FaceTime, and you get that, personal connection with that company. So, like, one of the best ways to network is at conventions in person, being able to actually, like, talk to them and put a face behind your username. So that direct person-to-person experience that you get with appointments and, going up these booths and meeting these people is super important.
At the very least, you start to develop a relationship if you don't already have one with those people. And that can play a big role moving forward. I mean, if we're looking, just a few years out, it's really easy to see, but also 10 years out, because these people will stay in the industry, even if they don't stay with that company. And so you end up with a lot of like kind of cross-pollination that way too. So it can be really valuable, I think, to establish those relationships through the appointments, because otherwise you don't really have control over who you're going to talk to and how deep that relationship can be, because it might just be 5 minutes, how that's going to go.
Exactly.
Yeah, especially a lot of these times, like these people are running around, like, they might grab you if they have a spot and put you at a computer, but they already have appointments. So like you might be just put with a dev and like you get 5 seconds of FaceTime with the person you actually really want to talk to. So, appointments are important, like especially at something that's as busy as E3. It seems a little hectic.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun though. It's really neat to, like you said, with long-term relationships and stuff. This year, I had a few different people who had emailed me and they're like, "Hey, we're going to be there, but we're not showcasing anything on a large scale, but we still want to show you this." Or I had somebody at the last minute that was like, "Hey, I have an extra badge. Did you get one? Do you want to come?" Which is really cool. Like you can develop those relationships, and then over time, they can turn into something else, friendships, whatever. And like you said too, with people that bounce around a lot, they bounce around a lot in our industry.
Yeah.
So developing those relationships on those kind of one-on-one meetings and spending time not only getting, to see early access of a game, potentially also getting yourself early access to broadcast the game, or say they're looking for streamers or, content creators of some kind to build up an affiliate program or some type of partnership program. You're getting kind of the ground floor level of that, which is really nice. But also if they decide to leave that company, they'll be like, that person was really nice. I'd love to work with them again. So, yeah.
So I'm a little